We want to take a look at one of these permutation or combination problems and see how we can work through this together. So I'll let you read this statement, and when you read the first sentence you notice that you're looking to make a tag number, and it says it's going to be 4 numbers followed by 2 letters. So I know that I have 4 spaces and then I have 2, and as you notice they're different, right? So this first part right here, that's going to be your numbers. And then the second part, that's going to be letters. So in this one we need to ask ourselves, is the order important? And of course it is, because we have to have numbers first and then we're going to have letters. So if the order is important, we're going to use the permutation over the combination. So that's great. So what are we going to do with all that, right? Well, I need to think about these as events. So I'm going to have event 1, and I'll go ahead and write it all the way out. You can also sometimes see this as E1. So what is the first event? Well, the first thing as I was reading the second sentence it talks about is numbers. So this is going to be, I need 4 numbers. And what do we know about these numbers? Well, they're going to be from 0 through 6. Now the other thing you need to ask yourself is, could these numbers be repeated? And the answer is no. So just remember this is with no repeats. That's important. Now I need to look at another event. That's the other part of the tag. So event 2 or E2 is going to be what? Well, I have 2 letters. And this time the letters are what? Well, they're being taken from the first 10 of the alphabet, so the first 10 letters. Okay, so I've got that. Now, can these be the same? It says, yes, there are repeats, so you can write may repeat or something that reminds you of that. So now that I have the information, what do I need to do? Well, I know that I need to use the multiplication principle because I've got to do something with each one of these. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to use it as M1 and M2 so they can correlate together. So E1 will be with M1. Now remember we said that order was what? It's important, correct? So when it's important, that means there's no repeats. That's when we're going to use the permutation. And what do we know? We're taking the permutation of 7 numbers, taken 4 at a time. So that's going to be equal to 7 factorial over 7 minus 4 factorial, and then you use your handy dandy little calculator and you get 840. Now for this second one, that's going to come from event 2. Now here we knew what? We know that we can repeat them. So all we have to do on this is we need to multiply 2 numbers together, right? Because we have 2 letters. So what do I know? For this first spot right here, how many different choices do I have? Well, we said it was the first 10 letters, so I have 10 choices for this one. Second letter, we still have 10 letters, so I have 10 choices for this one. So 10 times 10 is 100. That looks kind of bad, sorry about that. Now, what do? Well, if I want to find the total, what do I need to do with those 2 numbers? Well, it's M1 times M2, so then that's going to equal to 840 times 100, which is just going to give you what? 84,000.